Hey everybody! You're here on Geek Space TV. I don't know what quality of internet you are currently experiencing, so we are going to begin with a very important announcement of we are still working on the internet, but soon, TM, we're waiting upon people. So it's out of our hands currently, in which case we apologize that you may not be receiving the optimal Leviathan experience. However, we are recording this separately, so if it is so bad that it is unwatchable for you for some reason, then it will be up on YouTube shortly after in the next week. Give us a few days. Things are busy on this end, but yes, we apologize that the internet may not be great. But otherwise, we're here and we're excited. We are very excited to be here tonight. I am also personally a touch sad because tonight was the final night of Leviathan Distant Stars Season 2 that will have our dearest Dan Poslins. Did you not? Oh, sorry, Dan.
You're out.
You were too late tonight, so you got kicked out because there was only the short straw left.
I hate this place.
No!
I like how we laughed and you're like, no.
No, it's getting too real. Dan, we all like you.
You would feel that way if you were getting kicked out.
But you're not.
No, that's true. I'm not getting kicked out. I'm leaving because I'm directing a show and it's going to take pretty much all my time from here through April.
Yes. Good. Conveniently, season 3 takes place after April, so
who knows?
Let's see if Conrad survives the night.
Yeah.
I was like, should we
Let's see how vertical we get with
that's the carrot that Lauren's dangling for me is. You want to survive to season 3? Here's your shot.
So, but you are here, if you did not know, to watch Leviathan Distant Stars, a Stars Without Number RPG. We are very excited to have you. Thank you for being here. If you would like to help support this show, you can do so in many ways. One of them, there are several link suggestions in chat. You can share out this show, talk about it amongst your friends and loved ones and strangers. Strike up a fascinating conversation with another person about this show that you watched, which involved people making out with each other. And then they'll ask you what show and you can talk about this one. If you are able to do so, we also do thrive and rely upon your tips, your donations to keep us running, so you can send those donations, or if you would like to sign up for a regular monthly donation, you can do so over on our Patreon.
Today is the last day of the month.
Today is the last day of the month, so if you want those sweet rewards for January, today is the last day that you can get them. Otherwise, we tick over to a new month tomorrow. That's how months work. They are miracles.
It is every month.
Is it based on like GMT or is it based on? Because it might already be.
Oh, yeah.
It might already be February.
Patreon might base it off of where you are located.
I don't know if they're that nice.
I have no idea.
Well, you can schedule things based on your own time zone, so they have ways of. Anyway, I don't know. We'll find out. What was the other thing that I was going to talk about? Oh, if you do donate during tonight's show, we will be reading out the donations at the half break and at the end of the show. And during the break time, there will be a sweet fan art slideshow, which you, if you have fan art, should submit that fan art to using our convenient fan art link. Have I said the word fan art enough? We really like it. It's super awesome. Also tweet it at us. We use hashtag LeviathanDS. That's the one that I track, not LDS, because that just leads you down a different rabbit hole.
What does it lead you down?
Latter-day Saints.
Huh.
Mormons.
Oh, because I was gonna be like, that
Not-
sounds like a baseball league.
Not our.
They are a baseball league.
Not
as well.
affiliated.
They might.
Oh, I adore you, Claudia.
They always win because of God.
Let's talk about religion. I'm pretty sure God's on a lot of people's sides.
Let's move on. We're here for episode 3 of this season. Let's introduce our fabulous players. We will end with the one who is leaving us. So we will begin with our captain.
Hello, everybody. I am Lizzie the Bold. I am a part-time streamer, full-time forgetter of costumes, and I
just noticed you aren't in costume.
You could have gotten away with it.
I know. It could have worked out.
Okay, that was me. Yes.
Spoiled by that meddling child. So I am playing Ziana. I don't know what's happening. I'm playing Ziana. She is the 7-foot-tall, red-scaled warrior captain of this crew. And yeah, that's me. I don't know, guys. My spikes are gone, and I have no idea what I'm doing with my life.
Oh.
That's very cool.
Thank you.
It's really rough.
It's rough
Who's
when you're
sitting
not
next to
armored.
you?
Who's sitting next to me?
Hi, I'm Claudia, but on the Twitch and Twitter, I go by Jackie Dash. JAKIDASH. Man, I should really remember. Put the bell in front of you. But it's super exciting because I play Kika, who is our baddie space engineer. She's got wonderful ears and is mostly blind. Like, I believe she can see like between 3 and 10% of what she actually needs to see, depending on the situation. Because we haven't decided things yet. But she is the opposite.
About people needing to play blind characters in shows that I run.
Tiny, uses his mouth with teeth. Good.
It's a teeth good. You and I
That's-
are doing great at these intros. So.
That's what it'll say on your business
Yeah,
card.
yeah.
What is happening today?
Team best intro.
Ooh! Is
Oh.
it okay? I have to ask: is it smoky in here, or is it just me?
It's just
Just
you.
you.
Okay.
There is an
Wow.
incense smell.
But
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I can't.
no.
I feel like I can't.
I had to open the window.
It's okay.
I just felt like there was mist, and that's just my eyes. Okay, go.
Oh
Don't be
boy.
worried.
Okay, so
Goodness.
if we need to pause the show, we might be taking Claudia to the hospital.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I guess I could see the
Fine,
smell.
The internet's not working out.
Hi guys, it's me, Shell Game. I also go by Sarah. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Shell Game, and I play Thea. She is I'm trying to remember her height. Now that you went to height, I'm like, oh, I should talk about that. So she is about 5'4", very petite, and she has very unique fingers. They have multiple joints, so they're they're great for picking up the little things that might be useful along the way. She really enjoys finding those little things. The more valuable, the better.
I think Conrad's 6'1", but I can't find where I wrote it down.
I would believe that they're that height difference.
Anyway, hi, I'm Dan Poslins. I'm at Dan Poslins on Twitter and the like. And I will, for one final evening of the season tonight, be playing Lieutenant Conrad Carls Jr., who is an ICA military academy graduate, now presumed dead, and with people clawing their faces. And yeah, and he's been going through some stuff.
Just some.
You guys are gonna miss my intros being this detailed, I'm sure.
You can't top mine, so
We're team best intros. You literally can't.
yeah.
All
Hi,
around,
everybody.
It's been fantastic.
We're still team power bottom though.
Broke
right?
'em. No.
Power
no,
bombs.
Yep. What?
Just on my end.
It's okay.
All right. Well, you guys lost chat.
We miss you, chat.
Bye, chat.
It's
We
all right.
love you, chat.
We'll figure this out. Hi, my name is Random Tuesday. I am GM here of what is totally not an episode of
What is
Shadow.
happening here? What is this show? I think we need to reset because
We're all so beklept over you're leaving, Dan, that we can't.
I was
You
gonna
made
say,
a
I'm glad
face.
I'm clearly leaving at the pinnacle of the show.
It's all,
I'm
It's
glad
just
you
all
recognize
downhill
this,
from here.
Dan.
Yeah,
I'm glad you do.
turtles all the way down.
it is.
Okay.
Hi, my name's Random Tuesday. I will be your GM for this evening. We are playing Stars Without Number, and with that, let us recap.
Hey, what? Hey, hang on.
What?
Is it the only show you're GMing right now for Deep Space?
This is actually exciting. I know that Lauren sounds like she's a.
I realized about halfway through that I hadn't,
On Friday, I will be facilitating another show called A Manner of Speaking, which is a Jane Austen-inspired role-playing game, in which Lizzie the Bold will be one of my players. Yes.
So the alternate title, as I named it this morning, was A Proper Way of Communication.
Yes. She was really struggling to find that name. The one that Andy came up with later was A State of Affairs, and I felt that one was pretty good too.
Oh, Estate? Yes,
Estate,
yeah.
yeah.
I feel like A State
that.
of Affairs is a West Wing show. Are you making a West Wing RPG?
Oh.
Not
Let's
Well,
yet.
not yet.
Not yet. We're going to remind ourselves where our intrepid crew of the Batleth was last time on Leviathan Distant Stars. our crew had made their way. You know, they tried.
I like Dan. Dan's like,
The crew of the Batleth, having made their way to the Ica system, or Ica-controlled sectors, they had found their way on a planet called Mera, known fondly as a pleasure world. They were seeking out an expert on the installation of cyberware because despite the many capabilities of their awesome engineer Kika, she is not a cyberware expert, and therefore trying to install massive weapons into a massive living ship was probably not going to go super well. So they were given the name of a Shelleen Anio, an expert in cyberware, after being so cruelly and rudely rejected by one of the researchers at the Ica Academy, the Genius Bar Academy in the Cupertino system.
I'll miss you too.
We will. We will miss you. So they made their way to the planet Mera, in which they learned some things about the planet, including that though it is a pleasure world, it does not specify in one particular kind of pleasure. It is more of a whatever takes your pleasure sort of planet, and seems to revolve largely around virtual provided experiences. And a lot of the individuals there all seem to have some form of cyberware and other implants. Sort of making some connections, seems to sort of make sense, looking for a cyberware expert on this planet with a lot of cyberware. Eventually, they did make their way to the person that they were going to meet. There was some making out involved.
1 minute.
There was exactly
minute.
one
I rolled
whole
for it.
minute
yes.
of making out. There was one costume change. There was several attempted pickpocketing, and they eventually made their way to a cyberpunk disco. What?
This is making out motion, right? Like they're making out. Like,
This is sign language.
No,
isn't it? It's
Oh
this.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
This
that's
is
what
up and
Janine
down
does
is making out. I
When
think.
Wait,
she's
I don't
mad
know.
at you.
like
on
churning
stage.
the butter?
Well, I don't know if I would go up and down with it, but
I thought this was
What
rope
is
burn.
happening?
So they made their way into a cyberpunk sort of bar, in which they met up with an individual who, at first glance, they didn't necessarily think was actually any sort of researcher or specialist or cybernetics person. This individual, they had large, sort of like almost synthetic fox-like ears, very tall, it can kind of turn independently, a sort of flatter face with a flatter nose and kind of like thin lips. They had, did I describe what color their skin was? I don't remember.
I don't think
I feel like it's green.
It's sort of like, there are parts of it that seem almost iridescent, but overall it's probably kind of like a light sort of bluey green sort of color, somewhere in that kind of like teal aquamarine sort of vibe. They had a tail too that they noticed, and several bits, and that's kind of where maybe some of the iridescence comes in, like bits that sort of blend nicely into some sort of very high-end chromy cyberware. Obviously some of it did appear to be entirely aesthetic, like they have LED hair for no reason other than why not?
Why
if you
wouldn't
can,
you?
why wouldn't you have LED hair? After some conversation with this person, they found out that this individual was in fact Shelleen, and they go by the name Cha-Cha, because that is their preferred name, and that is the identity they have assumed while living here on the planet Mera. Cha-Cha indicated that they would be interested in going with them, but they are currently not in a position to do so, as their assets are being held under duress as part of their contract for working on this planet, and those assets are worth a fair sum of guck. So they informed the crew of that Batleth that if those assets that take the form of data files could be recovered from their employer, they would be free to be able to sell them on the market for quite a high cost, and provide a portion of those funds as compensation to the crew of the Batleth, and happily go with them on this great space adventure in which they would be installing giant weapons into a living ship. So The crew of the Batleth agreed to take, I believe it was 20%, 15%. I didn't write it down.
Part of their.
Plus part of the sales of a
I wrote it
cash
down. It was like
cyberware have.
40%.
Yeah, definitely not. We'll make it VAT 17.5%.
What?
I think it's
Swear it was
I said
25.
5% cyberware,
I'm pretty sure-
15% not cyberware.
there you go.
All right.
20%
Cyberware,
total.
too.
Yeah.
We got the cyberware too.
I
No,
wrote
I
down.
remember that part because that was what made me be okay with going down off of 25%. That's tough.
Yeah,
with
it's
the,
15. And they are covering all of your expenses. Well, their employer's covering all of your expenses while you're on this planet.
That's right. I forgot about that portion.
We get to be in the penthouse suite.
So
We all
our
shared the penthouse
Crew,
suite.
we find the crew of the Batleth in the penthouse suite. How far forward do we want to go in time? Like, how much detritus should I describe on the floor?
6 hours?
6 hours? Yeah, a few hours.
Is that enough to live out all our pleasure experiences?
Shalene indicated they would need some
Well.
time in order to gather the needed information that they're going to give to you to help you with the break-in, and essentially said, enjoy the pleasures of Mira as long as you are my guest, and then after that you will be my contractors. And they sort of showed you up to the penthouse and let you to it and said, contact me if there's anything you need that isn't on the service list.
I like turn on like the hotel TV to like the tourist channel to see just like what there is to do.
So many flashing lights and things to do. Welcome to Planet Mira. Anything you could possibly want. You can be a train. You can be a plane. You can be a bird.
All right.
Be a sex dungeon. Like, I don't know.
That's
And all of that can
You'll just
happen
assume.
while being pleasured beyond your wildest dreams.
Conrad turns the TV back off. I think.
And that's one of the tamer ads. There's a lot of scantily clad individuals in several of the ads.
Keegan
Room
going to be a
service.
tree.
Room service, right? Like I just like pick up the phone and I'm like, just like 1111, which I assume is the hotel. Which I don't know like why there's
It's
old
not
school
even
phone.
a phone. It's
No.
like you pick it up and then you just say the word room service into it. Like
Great. I want everything on the menu.
Thea like
I
plops down
want
next to you and goes, and two of these.
And
you would
two-
like a standard tourist order.
Yes. And two of
Bring
those.
those right up to your room.
And I want to be very clear. I want 3 buckets of popcorn with chocolate on it.
4.
4.
4.
4.
Of course. Put it on your bill.
Great. Anything?
No.
And 2 handles of whiskey.
Do you have a yes, bringing it right up. They will literally bring you anything that you order. You notice when it arrives shortly, it probably will arrive in some waves because it takes time.
Did you order any protein?
Whatever was on the menu.
You will notice that while it all looks very accurate and probably tastes accurate, but if you read too much into the actual nutritional content, it is all like generated food. Like it's not actual popcorn. It's
So like the upper class
products.
version
Yeah.
of Third Vegetable?
Yeah, it's First Vegetables.
Oh.
It's a first product brand.
Wow.
So does this have like limited to no calories?
It has calories.
Oh, okay.
Unless you specifically ordered the calorie-free version, but that one never tastes that good,
No.
and always feels like you're eating a sponge.
That's fine.
Ugh.
That's fine.
I would not get.
So, other than ordering all of the room service, does Conrad or Ziana do anything in particular to take in the pleasures of Mira?
So what time is it, roughly?
It's
or-
probably, you were seeing, you got to the bar before the Starlight Lounge, before it was nighttime. So you're probably looking at it being a few hours away from sunset.
Conrad will probably
Afternoon.
go for a stroll and scope out the building that they are going to be actually infiltrating tomorrow, which may not be the most pleasurable thing he could do. But,
Certainly not.
but he'll take in the sights along the way, and
He is going to be offered many things, either in the forms of flyers, and depending on how far into the smaller streets he chooses to go, sometimes more three-dimensional propositions will be offered as well. It's a lot of people just pushing like VR headsets at him,
Oh, okay, that's different than what I thought.
and then sometimes naked people.
That's what.
Well, mostly closed.
He'll like push off most of it, but then probably at some point he'll like.
Kid, you want to go on a flight simulator?
Conrad stops for a moment and just sort of, and then relinquishes and says, "Fine," and he follows the person to wherever it is they're going.
We never see
I
Conrad
assume
again.
you
Dan's off the
this is
show.
how we get rid of Dan.
and he becomes a junkie.
Yeah.
Bye, Dan.
Simulators.
Streets of Mara, gotta give me some flight stimulators.
Careful on the cross chatters.
They'll ask if you want the vertical or experience. He will probably notice a strange familiarity to the flight simulators that they totally don't have at the academy. That he will routinely deny the existence of. But it's a very immersive experience, and there's like options that you can be like, I'm gonna be in a tiny ship with a massive weapon and stuff like that. So he goes crazy, I'm sure.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, so that, I guess, is eventually he'll get back around, unless I have to roll to see if I become a junkie or not.
No.
Like,
No.
he'll
One
get
hit is fine.
he'll get back around to actually scoping out the.
For scoping out the building, go ahead and give me notice and wisdom.
All right.
Or intelligence. I'll take either.
Ladies and gentlemen, off to a good start. I'm glad this wasn't my like roll to resist becoming a junkie.
He becomes a junkie,
Yeah.
and he loses track of time. And you Conrad probably manages to get like a visual of the outside of the building. Like he knows where it is located. It's a big building. It's quite tall and impressive.
I rolled 2 1s. It's okay if I went to the wrong building.
No, it's big. Like he looks at it and he's like, "Yep, it's a big building." And the entire thing's like glass on the outside. He doesn't even know where the front door is.
Is it because of the flight simulator?
He is space sick. He gets a little sim sick.
Oh.
A little dizzy.
Conrad's gonna eventually make his way back to the hotel and tell everyone.
Conrad
You guys,
approval.
I don't know about this. The building is really big. I noticed
There were a
that.
lot of people around there. And for all you know, most of them were probably armed.
I don't know how we're going to pull this off. I'm just saying.
I'll just take a look at the stuff she sent us. I'm sure there's something in there.
Because I imagine just has this big bowl of popcorn. Is Kika's
Yeah,
belly like a little
like
bit
I'm
extra
definitely
round?
I'm definitely laying on the ground, and like Kika has like, I'm assuming has gotten a bowl for the whiskey, and like,
With a straw.
No, because I can't use straws. I don't have suction in my mouth.
That's right. Lapping it out of a bowl.
And then like popcorn. I have a plan. I asked for all these containers to
Is
go.
Oh my god.
Can bats not use straws? Is
No, because their
Have
mouths
you
don't
ever
completely
seen
close.
a bat use a straw?
Like dogs can't use
Case
straws either.
closed.
Oh.
Because they
can't
you need
close
your mouth needs to close for suction.
I don't like where this is going for what I'm gonna have to try with my poor dog.
Oh God, poor Simon. Give
Poor
Simon
Lucky.
a straw.
I have to know if this is true.
Dogs
They
can't use
have to,
suction.
Lick the straw.
They have
Oh,
okay.
No, but they can't. To be able to suck, you need to seal your lips.
Okay, anyways,
So, what does Ziana do?
Ziana,
His pleasure planet.
good God.
Well, half of her crew is gorging itself, and the other one's in a flight simulator.
So first, Ziana would have gathered up what supplies that she has to try and prep for the mission. And then after it became abundantly clear that it would be a while before they got any actual planning done, as she watches popcorn be tossed back and forth between the mouths of Thea and Kika, and Conrad has already gone who knows where. She decides that she is going to try and take in some kind of recreation on this planet. and she calls up Mira and
You
tries,
Cha-Cha.
or Cha-Cha, and because we're on Mira, and tries to find like. Surely there is some kind of fight club on this planet.
Oh, there's so
Just
many
one.
fight clubs.
So many.
Cha-Cha will essentially be like, okay, the question is how bloody do you want this fight club to be?
Moderately.
You want more of a visceral experience?
Would like to be somewhat prepared for tomorrow, so let's go a little light on the bloodiness and potential.
I know a great place.
Great.
Sends you over a name. This one's like it's one of those sort of more of a tank experience. So you feel like the sensation all over your body, but they assure you that it is perfectly and 100% safe.
The pleasure will be moderate, because I mean, for Ziana, if she's not in actual danger, it's only so fun.
I mean, we can turn.
And they like slip you an alternative piece, like a compound. And they're like, look at this selection, and it's the one that will come with some light to moderate bruising and bleeding.
Excellent. That'll do.
And Ziana gets to like choose who she wants to fight in the arena, and they have a bunch of different simulations. There's like a PvP version as well, where everyone
excellent.
like gets in their own tank and just wails on each other
Excellent.
with the haptics, like just pure haptic feedback.
Excellent.
Does she take any damage?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
some. Gosh, how many of my 54 hit points should I shave off?
Go ahead and just give me one attack roll.
I forgot that
I'm
there are hit
sabotaging our
points that are
team.
like higher. You know, it's like
That's a d20 plus my cheat sheet is also motherfucker.
what the? Oh no! You got it out now. You got it out now.
Do we need to
What
start
did
with
you
the
roll?
dice
I rolled a
indicating?
1.
Oh wow! I rolled a 3, so I
Oh,
was
well
really
then.
thinking,
So-
but instead I'll have
Do
you
I
take
add
this.
my bonuses?
Yeah, sure.
So-
it probably yeah.
1 plus my strength plus my attack bonus. So 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay. Go ahead. I'll have you take 11 hit points. And damage.
11? Alright, that's fair.
And that's what you walk away with. Like, you got some like solid bruising. There's a little bit of like swelling. You kind of like you feel like you had a good.
Time well spent, actually.
Good
She
beating.
got a little too into it.
Oh yeah. The other guy does not look great.
No. She got
They're-
a little too
They're gonna go
excited
get a
about
little
it.
bit more extensive
Yeah.
work done afterwards.
Well, if she's gone, I would love to like actually dig into everything that we got from about like what.
You don't have anything
We
yet.
don't
You're
have
just waiting
anything
on it.
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah.
Because
It's gonna be a
lengthy
couple of
more.
hours for Cha-Cha to get back to you.
We've thrown all the popcorn already.
Just like, what do we do now?
Yeah.
Well, we started. We eventually dumped it on each other because.
Oh yeah, because then it was easier that way.
Yeah.
Because they were mostly just, I think, hitting me in the face anyway.
Yeah. That's
So I was trying to catch them, but they were further than my head was.
So when you just pour it, you get like 5 and we're good.
Yeah, yeah,
So-
exactly.
Great. A couple hours later, at this point, probably Ziana, or at least if you're not back already, Cha-Cha will ping you and say, I'm on my way up. I have some, hopefully, a wealth of helpful information for you. I really do want this to go successfully. It would be most beneficial for me, especially if you don't get caught. Anyway, I'll see you in a moment.
Oh, good.
Excellent.
Oh, crap. I meant to just...
I'm assuming we're all back ahead of this at
Yeah.
least a little. So you weren't able to find anything.
It was really busy in the plaza outside of the building. Lots of people. I'm guessing that lots of them are armed too.
It's understandable, Conrad. You are a soldier. We're not exactly generals.
Oh, I should have gone out there. Sorry. It was really good popcorn, though.
I'm glad you enjoyed the popcorn.
Yeah, there's
Maybe
definitely
the last
like-
time you ever have any, so
I intend to make it out of this alive.
that's good. We all intend that.
I can't wait to find out what the plan is.
At that moment, the door just sort of slides open. I guess everything here is too fancy for opening doors. I hope all of you have been enjoying your time. I'm sorry you haven't had that much. You're certainly welcome to have a little bit more, but I figured I'd give you the information I managed to get.
That would be good.
Excellent. Sit, stand, whatever you prefer, and they immediately just like sit down in a chair and sort of lounge out a little bit. Their ears sort of twitch slightly from side to side. Okay. So I have this, and they have just like a data stick in their hand. That should be the most intense of the data protocols. Now, the system itself, well, let me explain what you're going to be up against. My employer is Starlight Entertainment Industries. They own the Starlight Lounge, among most of the other more reputable and irreputable locations on Mira, one of the biggest corporations. They have a lot of money, a lot of guck to spend. They are run by a Salir named Lai Kugan. You probably shouldn't run into him. If you do, well, he's not that impressive. Mostly he's somewhat better with talking and less with guns, so you'll probably be fine.
What's a Salir? How intimidating could a Salir be?
Have you ever seen one of them charge?
Once. That is true. You have to stay out of the way of that.
Very big horns.
It's true.
I assume that if guns at any point get involved in this, we're all dead.
You know how to work a gun.
I know how to work a gun, but I don't know how to get us out of that building if we're up near the top of it, if there's a
Do you need
firefight.
some regulators?
Maybe.
What is a regulator?
Well, he's very scared. We could just get rid of that feeling.
I'm not,
I
I'm not
see.
scared. I'm concerned.
So, your first step really is going to be get into the secure areas. He has a specific server that is more protected than the rest of it, so you'll need to access it directly. You certainly wouldn't be able to tap into that from anywhere else in the building. Getting to the secured section shouldn't be... Well, you need to look like you belong. Or I suppose you could shoot your way
several
through.
of us.
Yes.
Can we just bypass any sort of monitoring that they have in place?
Well, the portion of the building is public. I don't think you want to get questioned.
That
well,
is
we can
accurate.
We can just look like people here for a little pleasure.
I'm sure you can manage that. They say, looking fairly directly at Thea. So once you get past the public areas, you'll be inside the secure system. That's where you're going to want to be on your guard. Now, the data protocols will give you a little bit of information about at least locations within in the building, so you're not going to be wandering around aimlessly, but I'm not going to be able to tell you in advance who's where. So discretion is the better part of valor, something like that Earth expression I think I've heard.
Sneaking.
We could do that.
Or killing quickly.
That I can do.
Their security forces aren't going to necessarily be expecting someone inside, so they're not going to be going around in large groups. You'll mostly be facing one or two people at a time.
Tell me a little more about this building. Is it a place where potentially there might be some people who, scientists or someone who might have a reason to be there that wouldn't typically be in that building, might be somewhere else on Mira?
Well, certainly there are individuals that contract out. I mean, you could be there to see someone else.
Could you get us contractor badges to get in?
That part would be a little bit more difficult because they don't use badges.
What do they use?
What do you think we use?
Oh, great.
All right.
Being
so
able to
maybe-
get you entirely inserted into the system with a full biometric suite is probably going to take a little bit too long.
All right, so we're going to have to stick with the sneaking and breaking into the area.
Another thing I could potentially do is, well, I mean, I am a trained ICA officer. The only thing I don't have is credentials that say I'm anything other than dead. If there was some way you could help me obtain some, as indelicate as that sounds, then it would put me in a position of relative authority.
Well, how would we get in?
Well, I could be there to supervise whatever plan you're going through. I'm just not very
We could be scientists.
sneaky
I still have that data.
or good at
file.
lying.
Would scientists have business in this place?
If they were
Sounds like a
humans.
glorified
do.
office building.
Well, the external portion is another Starlight location. The interior is where more of the business is conducted. So plenty of people have reason to be there. You're not going to look completely out of place, but if you walk in with a lot of guns clearly visible, the more sensitive an area that you're in, the more people are going to ask questions, and eventually you'll get to the place where they'll shoot first and then never ask you questions because you're dead.
But if we look like a bunch of bumbling scientists who landed in the wrong place with an Ica guard or support.
So you're suggesting taking a discretionary route with a plan. I might be able to get you at least something that will get you part of the way through. Again, once you get very close to the secure server, they're going to start being suspicious of anyone who's there that they don't immediately recognize or who doesn't have the biometric scans. But there are off-world visitors who are opposed to those sorts of things or don't have the time to get the full suite. I could get you inserted to the system that way.
Let's do that. I mean, Captain,
No,
Let's do that.
Yes, I agree.
It will take a little bit of time, so depending on, again, you can explore more. But I did want to suggest an offer to you. I have, how do we put this? An untested piece of cyberware. Do you know what a data phase tap is? Thea would know what this is.
Is it? I'm assuming it's like a step up from a line shunt.
No, it's you would still need line shunts. It's essentially a thing that allows you to get through like a small amount of distance. It's like it's like a Bluetooth connection, so you can tap into data lines without having to necessarily be at a terminal.
Okay, so
You just have to be close enough to them, and you don't have to like get into
The way your
wall.
face just lit up.
just a second.
Collectively.
Let's rephrase. So Cha-Cha says, do you know what a data phase protocol is?
Yeah.
Data phase.
Yeah.
Well, it's not as effective as a standard third-party one, but this one would be an implanted version that with a moderate amount of system strain would allow a short distance connection to data lines, which would be significantly more helpful to you once you're inside the building.
Goodness, yes. How do we get that?
You come with me to my clinic.
Thea,
Right.
are you sure this is something you want to do?
I've had a lot of success with others.
The ability to have this, the possibilities are endless. I no longer have to have direct access to. I can be standing there looking completely nonchalant and be hacking their entire systems
When-
when they're not
okay,
looking.
When you
So
say
that's
a,
You still need line shunts.
Yeah.
Okay.
when you say a lot of success,
Mm-hmm.
what is the other side of that coin?
Well, this particular device I haven't tested yet.
You haven't tested it.
It's very difficult to test these sort of things in non-sentient species. They just can't give you the same sort of feedback. But all of those species have not died.
That's good.
Sorry. It was
I just don't know if it'll work.
It was a data what again? This is Sarah.
It's a data tap.
Thank you.
A phase data tap.
2 questions.
Sorry if I can interrupt really quick.
Yes.
So it sounds like Chad is getting a lot of audio from us and not a lot of video. So we're gonna try and do our best to radio play it up.
Yeah.
Awesome. We can do that.
Yeah.
And the VOD will be fine.
The
And the
VOD's
VOD
gonna
will be
perfect.
good.
Yeah.
The VOD will have the VOD.
This is what startups do. So, 2 questions. 1,
Yes.
does it kill things? Has it ever killed any of your people? Like, or the people, the patients? The
Early
thing?
phase 1 trials did.
And phase 3?
Well, I'm in phase 2. Do you know how clinical trials work?
Yes.
Well, this is like a clinical trial, but phase 1 is we're out of non-sentient testing.
2, is it removable?
Well, as removable as any cyberware is, yes.
3, do you want to do this?
Yeah.
All right.
It's your choice, Thea.
I mean,
Of course.
this is the opportunity of a lifetime.
There is no cost to you.
How can I say no?
All right.
Just think of what I can do. Cap. Just imagine for a minute what exactly I can get into and how much money we're going to make. Feel like turns away from Cha-Cha for a minute.
You
like,
see
I should
Cha-Cha's
say
ear
this.
just like turn and like twitch. I can't hear anything you're saying.
Ziana looks extremely dubious about this whole thing, but it is your body and your choice.
Thea looks beyond excited. She looks like if she's not going to get it right this minute, she's like, that's where she's at.
So then this is going to help us get into the building.
Once you're in there, it will be much quicker and much more efficient to tap any data systems that you need to in order to, say, for example, see where guards are in a specific region. You don't need to break a wall or find a data terminal. You can do it from anywhere. The range on this is about half of what a typical range would be on a third-party one because it's internal, so it can't use as much power.
Oh, that's a shame. What? I'm still going to do it.
By all means.
Go ahead.
And how long will this procedure take? Is there a recovery period?
The procedure itself is fairly quick. I would probably kind of looks you up and down, assessing your constitution. What's your constitution score?
29.
29. 29 is your constitution.
What?
Your constitution, not your
What?
hit points.
Never mind. My
Constitution.
score of my constitution is 13. My hit points, on
Oh,
the other
13 is
hand.
actually
That's
above
really good,
average.
yeah.
That's really good constitution.
Like mine's 10.
Mine's less.
Okay, looks you up and down and is sort of, I think you'll be fine. I'd give it a few hours. You might have a slight headache for a little while.
What about scaring up any sort of credentials that I might be able to use?
For Ica? I didn't exactly leave Ica on great terms.
Me neither.
Did you steal a sign? I know from experience.
You're not the only one who's stolen one of his signs. I didn't, but no one likes that professor.
Professors are the worst.
I just don't think anyone's going to buy me as a scientist.
Perhaps instead of,
For the rest of you, I'm going to send you with my assistant, and they'll take you shopping.
Oh.
Kika, do you know what that means?
Yeah, we're gonna wear clothes.
Okay.
would it be at all feasible, do you think we would get stopped if we were, instead of scientists, the guards for the scientist, perhaps a hired muscle?
Still going to take you shopping.
No, I mean in the sense of them seeing us in that context and still shooting us.
Again, it'll get you farther. I think you'd be able to pass for guards. Yes, you would make good guards. But you're still going to run into some limitations with how far that's going to get you.
Still better to avoid people than to try and trick them.
Yes, just where the data taps will come in.
Yes.
I feel like Lauren mostly wants a shopping montage.
I mean,
Gonna get a montage.
We will
Thea's gonna
we'll
reach
cut
down
to a
like
montage.
just kind of Thea will reach out and just kind of like touch Kika, but not just like sort of like hold her hand out and just like stay there until Kika like holds her hand, and then she's just gonna like stay holding her hand until Cha-Cha says that it's time to go.
Any other questions? You've got some data protocols. I'll get at least one scientist with a retinue of guards. How many scientists? How many guards? What are you thinking? What's your play here?
I call guard.
2 scientists, 2 guards.
Perfect. I will get those. I have a friend who can probably put you on someone's schedule for a visit. Best to wait till morning then. Let's do early morning.
Morning shopping or morning attacking the base?
Morning attacking the base. Business is daylight. Fun is nightlight.
Oh, good. Lots of time for fun tonight then.
Nope, you're getting ready for surgery.
All right.
Wah,
Have you ever had cyber installed? They say as they are like, Cha-Cha just like takes your hand, like their 2 fingers wrapped around your curly ones. Do you want to come with?
Yes.
No,
Okay.
You should get
No.
your...
I'll lend you a lab. Oh, maybe not one of mine.
No, it's fine.
We'll lend you a lab coat.
Yes.
Have you ever had cyber installed? They say as they're walking out of the door.
Thea's voice goes really high. She's like,
I was wondering. And they sort of continue on. A little bit later, like maybe 5-10 minutes later, someone else comes in, like impeccably dressed, just like this sort of perfectly well-structured jacket with like sort of lines of color in like very abstract geometric sort of patterns. Cha-Cha said, I'm going to take the 2 of you to just come with me.
We go.
We go.
And there is a shopping montage in which the assistant keeps just a lot of shaking their head and forcing you to come in and out of dressing rooms. Except you're in like a mercenary department store. Like, it's like all like high-end, very classy tactical gear. Like it's not, it's not ball gowns, but it's like tactical suits.
Ziana has never known the joy of shopping before, but today is the day.
Yep.
Suddenly she understands.
Conrad wants to enjoy shopping, and he appreciates how like awesome these suits look on his chiseled body. But at the same
I'm
time,
gonna be real. The assistant at one point gets maybe a little too handsy.
Conrad is fine with it. He's used to it.
He's used to it. Okay.
I mean,
But-
his introduction to us was various people stalking him.
I mean, yeah, Thea basically just watched him work out for a really long time.
But he's just too preoccupied to really enjoy it.
Somewhere between the trying on of like the third tactical armor piece, Ziana says to the young lieutenant, "You don't seem all that enthused."
I don't know. I'm just really skeptical. This is not my wheelhouse. This is not what I'm good at. I'm worried that I'm going to be a liability rather than an asset in this mission.
There's a certain difficulty in these sorts of things that I've had to wrestle with. I wasn't exactly born or raised or trained in order to be stealthy or sneaky or deceptive. I'm a warrior. It's what I was
am too.
born to
Try
do.
this one on, please.
Yeah, she starts pulling another thing on. Was born to be a warrior. I'm a good warrior. But sometimes we just have to figure out how to adapt. Figure out how to best just stay out of everyone's way until they need someone in front of them to save them. You can do that. You can adapt. And when she needs you, you're going to be there.
When she?
She just pulls on the rest of her suit.
Try this one on.
You didn't
Put the
answer my
helmet on
question,
your
Captain.
It was a stupid question, Lieutenant.
So at the surgical clinic, it's a very nice clinic. There's like mood lighting. It's all very mellow. There's like some other people around here. It seems like it's probably open most of the time. But Cha-Cha just sort of waves at the receptionist like, "I'm Clyde. We're fine. We'll be right back." Sort of.
Thea, who like looked oh so bold before, is now looking a little intimidated, but also like she just doesn't care. Like she's like somewhere between trying to shrug it off and like have bravado, and also she is not like, oh, keep your hand.
No, I've definitely moved. I've moved up the shoulders.
Okay. Yeah, no.
And I'm braiding your hair.
Oh.
Get just 2 long braids to get it ready for whatever needs to happen.
Cha-Cha has Thea sort of sit down and starts taking vitals, and at some point is sort of, I need you to move.
Don't mind that. Is there a stool nearby?
Yes.
I'm gonna sit on the stool. Gonna still hold hands.
And you notice at this point, like, Cha-Cha's demeanor has gone from, like, that very sort of cavalier to just, like, very business. Like, this is what they are now a surgeon. And they kind of go through the whole process. And do you have any questions for me before we get started?
Thea meeps Conrad and says, "Hope you're having fun." And that's the last thing she says. She's like, "Nope, ready."
Has her lie down on, like, a sort of a leaned chair, and then, like, hooks up something, and then she goes under and into unconsciousness.
Meep, actually, it's kind of a weird process. I would be having fun, but I'm kind of melancholy about the whole thing. Anyway, someone gave me a flyer for a sex club. If you feel like doing that later on.
Please tell me that they did, like
Unconscious, right?
you did take care though for that to only be between the two of you, right? I don't have to listen to that.
Thea didn't
No.
meet directly, but
No, it's DMs.
Yeah.
It's DM.
Slide into those DMs and keep the rest of us out of it.
So, several hours later, Kika, you will probably be allowed to, like, watch, not in the actual general surgery room.
I'm clean as I like remove some popcorn crumbs.
Cha-Cha doesn't really give you an option to scrub in on this one, unless you try
I mean,
and
I
get
guess it's,
Cha-Cha to
I
let
think
you
it's
scrub in.
brains, and I know that. I read an
Do
audio.
you try to get permission to scrub in?
No, because I know that brains can't touch germs, and so brains are important.
Kika is saying this as Cha-Cha is, like, pushing her into the
Yet
observation room.
somehow,
You can watch.
we couldn't get you to install the cyberware.
I read an audiobook about human anatomy. Like,
Closes the door closes. You watch the surgery. They are very clearly good at what they are doing. If you had fears, they are hopefully alleviated by watching someone who seems quite
doctors are
competent.
doctors for a reason.
And you will come to in another room, also similarly lovely lighting, very calming, very just sort of peaceful. And, like, there's a moment when you wake up and, like, then you first sort of open and use, like, the muscles in your face. Like, it hurts a little bit. Everything just feels really stiff. And you definitely are pretty sure there's some pain medications, like, still in your system.
am I restrained at all?
No.
Thea will sit right up
Oh, big.
and then throw her legs over the side of the bed.
Nope.
And just
No.
sit there for a second. 'Cause I assume the world
Yeah.
is spinning.
The world just woo, and I would like you to give me a physical saving throw.
Okay.
That's
Don't
a
throw
D20.
up. Don't throw up.
Roll a d20.
That's not a D20.
No, that's a
There's my
d12.
D20.
That's really gonna
Yeah,
screw you
that's-
over.
No. I'll roll that one. 14.
Ooh.
14. Okay.
Oh, a physical
With
saving one?
yeah,
Plus
physical
3?
save plus
Sorry,
3. Yeah,
7.
because you have quite a high constitution. You sit up, everything just sort of spins. You don't fall over and you don't throw up. But you have. So you need to add right now. Your biggest thing is that you have a lot of system strain. So I'm going to give you the stats on the actual thing that you got. The base level device has 2 system strain, and that'll permanently be at 2 until it is removed. I'll give you, every time you use it, it will add 1 system strain. That goes away
That makes sense.
as long as you recover. Because it is experimental, normally most devices are 1 system strain, but this one is a little bit higher. So you know what system strain is, right?
Yeah, I thought
Okay.
it was tied to the.
It's tied to your constitution score. So now the maximum amount of system strain you can gather is going to be 11 because you're always at 2. So
Perfect.
when you get up to 13, you can't take any more strain.
Okay.
And that's used for like
And it's
healings.
healing,
or
like so
Mountain
psionic
Dew.
healing takes system strain. Mountain Dew
Dew.
takes
Space Mountain Dew.
Space Mountain Dew takes system strain. So all of these things is just how much your body can take. And that's affected by your constitution score. So you spin and you kind of reel, and to start with right now, because you're right out of surgery, but that's the surgery itself is another 3 system strain. So you didn't lose any hit points, but you're at 5 temporarily, so the other 3 will eventually come with recovery.
Okay.
Which is mostly to say that right now, if you need to heal a lot in combat, you're slightly in trouble.
You're sleepy. Your body's sleepy. Your body worked really your body worked really hard to not die during surgery. So you're going to be a little bit more
But on the plus side, you're still gonna have some painkillers in your system for a little while.
exhausted.
So you can take a punch and not mind.
Oh, good.
So, let me explain everything, and they'll probably like gesture. There's like a mirror over there because a lot of people like to see what they look like after surgery, especially because a lot of the surgery here is cosmetic. There are a couple like small incisions that you can see kind of right like under like right next to your hairline. I didn't want to shave anything. I know how humans can seem to be attached to that, so we put some direct connections into your optic nerve that should allow you some visual overlays for it. You're not going to get as much information as you would if you went through a compad. That connects to the actual majority of the device, which is going to be connected directly through your nervous system into what I would believe is your non-dominant hand, your left hand, based on the indications that I saw within your system. And that's going to be the one that will do the actual accessing and tapping of the systems. You might notice some pain when you utilize the system, especially the first time. Those nerves are going to be a little bit raw.
So
The stiffness in your face is normal. That should wear off shortly. A lot of that is based off of the anesthetic that we apply.
Theo like nods, and you can see that she probably got about like 50% of what was just.
If
said
you
to her.
lose your limb, that will impair the system entirely. So don't have your hand cut off for any reason. I don't think you were planning on it, but just in case, I want to put that out there.
So I control it all with my left hand.
The accessing port is in the left hand. The rest of the control is done through neural interfaces.
Oh.
So your line shunts go in there?
The line shunts are applied directly to a system. This is a data tap. Example, holds up like a compad. Your hand can access this wirelessly.
Theo like.
And you get like a slight overlay on your eyes that kind of goes across both of them. Now you can directly interface that to a compad in addition to this system to make it more effective to interface with them, but otherwise you can technically do it separately.
Just like this.
And you're able to like look at the files. It's really awkward. It's like going through one of those old cell phone memories because like it has to transfer it all into like a memory system, so it's not quite Minority Report. But if you then use a compad, you could control it more like that. Yes.
Internet seems good right now.
Okay.
So for people that are audio only, they can probably swap to video at least for now.
Okay.
If video is currently doing quite well, so if you are set to audio only,
And it's
attempt to put video back on.
after the time where things usually clear out, and they have cleared out.
I forgot.
Yes.
Yay!
Yay.
Hopefully you can see beautiful
Only
faces.
took an hour.
It won't take an hour. It's not-
Only we're still got more things to. I can move my hands now.
Refresh your video.
I can rock gently back and forth.
Rocking gently. So essentially, to explain this out of character for player to GM, you have about you can control devices that are within about 5 meters of you. So you have to be in the room. It is blocked by anything more than about 10 centimeters, depending on the material. So like metal is going to block more than concrete is. So you can like essentially get data lines that are in a wall is sort of the main idea, and you would be best served by like running your hand over the wall and then accessing it directly. You would probably want to use a third-party device like a compad to be able to do things more effectively. So if you're just using the data tap to get into the system, you're going to have penalties to your hacking. If you have your data tap and then like a device to actually read the information, it's going to be a lot more effective.
Okay. Thank you. That helps.
Yep. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Cool. Because otherwise you're using like really shitty scrolling menus from like the old iPod sort of like where you have to go through each thing one and then select it and then go in. So like you can do it. It just is much harder. It's not, you don't have a full overlay reading. Now, if you're ever interested in other upgrades, when I have the second version of this, I'm happy to upgrade it for you. That should reduce some of the strain on your system. There is also, if you are interested, at some point we can talk about additional things that you might want to be installed with.
Are upgrades free?
We'll talk about that when the time comes. I probably won't have my clinic then.
Are you even a little surprised?
But I'm
No,
often
I was-
interested in
I was
work trades.
pleasantly surprised. Or no,
I'm
not
often
even
often
surprised.
interested in work trades.
Oh, I'm sure we can work something out. I mean, Thea's
Thea's,
still
like,
clearly
blinking
not,
really
a little,
hard.
like everything's still a little hard. But she is definitely starting to get back to like, and she's already starting to like, so what other things are there? Like she's in her brain, but right now it's not really.
Oh, sorry, your control is within 2 meters and your detection is within 5.
Oh, so somebody.
So like you can know what's there, and then you have to be closer to it to use
Oh,
it.
that's kind of cool.
Give or take. There's some things interfering. Here's your stats.
Oh, thank you. That's very handy.
Mm-hmm. I figured you were the one who was gonna say yes. Who wants free experimental cyberware? That used to be Claudia. It's one of my favorite things to do.
I mean, it's the opportunity for Thea to be able to like hack. Oh, what was that lady's name? The one
Wendy Santiago.
Wendy Santiago.
Wow.
That's how she does
Holding
it,
that
you
damn
guys.
grudge.
If you can get
Oh
within,
yeah, she is.
if you can get within 2 meters of her, anyway.
And she's cybernetic.
Oh, no, I just need to get within 2 meters of an Ica.
And
You
I-
wait.
This does not get rid of the need for line shunts. So heavily secured systems, you'll still need to place line shunts in important areas and then do the tap.
Oh, because line chance is huge.
Yeah. And with that, they will bring you back to the penthouse suite when you're cleared through post-op. At this point, you have been back for a while. Like the surgery went on. So did you do anything prior to Thea's return? Did Kika do anything while Kika was?
I
at
mean,
the
I was
clinic,
there the entire time.
too? Picking popcorn like out of.
No, I only had a couple crumbs. Listening to my audiobook, this chapter was on arteries and kidneys. They're not the same.
Oh my god.
I'm doing a basics human
short
anatomy book. We're getting into the excretion system. It is also not the same.
You mean
The what?
endocrine? The
yeah,
like
the
endocrine
endocrine
is a
system.
system.
This is a very old audiobook.
The excretion system is like
The
the,
body
digestive.
system. Yeah.
Digestive
Yeah.
system, or
The digestion and then the arteries and kidneys. They're not the same.
Is this because Kiko wants to like become a cybernetic?
I'm learning from
wants to prove that she's better than someone
Anyone
who's
else.
dedicated their entire life to this field of study.
So she's starting off with learning what things aren't the same as each other. Great.
Yeah. What's a
Well, everyone
kidney?
has to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Xenomorphology for tricos.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
So,
Oh my god. So Ziana would have, just donned whatever armor we got.
What did we get?
Yeah, what did you get?
you probably got, at this point, I'm going to say stat-wise, it'd probably be pretty similar to what you currently have, but I don't actually know what you currently have.
I have a combat field uniform.
I have woven body armor.
Let's take a look at the
I have an
armor
undersuit.
types.
I have secure clothing, which means it won't fall off.
You made that mistake once, is that?
No, it's just the option that I had. It was light enough that I could fly with it.
Yeah, you'd probably be running, like, if yours is woven body armor, which is the 15, and you have the combat, yeah, it wouldn't be anything higher than those. So you're able to, they're like tactical suits, essentially, but like cyberpunk suits.
Oh my goodness.
So like,
Go on.
Conrad's doesn't have sleeves.
Yay!
Good
Suns out,
choice.
guns out.
Because Sun's out, guns out. It's got like they're still epaulets because they appreciated the style of Conrad's epaulet choice. It has like a weirdly low cut V.
Yes, it does.
But like then like crisscrossing, which you think
Yes.
might be sort of armor, like as the shirt underneath under like the jacket. There's no lapel on it, but it's clearly a suit jacket.
I think this may be Conrad's new look.
There are
this is
there
bad
are
Conrad.
Yeah.
like tactical gloves that are like motorcycle gloves with like plating that go up to the
Right.
elbow
Yeah, no, there's no going back from.
and
The-
over the knee boots.
On the back, can there be like an emblazoned like ship, like a Like
There
But I-
is a customizable LED back panel.
What I am wondering is, for the kind of security officer that he is dressed at, would it be appropriate for him to be carrying a rifle in plain sight? Because if so, he'll go back to the ship to get his. But if not, he'll continue just using his pistol.
I think he would be able, he'd be able to carry the rifle probably like over, like in a holster, kind of over the shoulder. Cha-Cha will say that will make the questions more prominent when you are in more secured areas. So like security, if they catch you or if like you go through regular security channels, might have you might take your weapon and might say you can't have this in here.
Well, Conrad is going to feel safer with his rifle anyway, so
Okay,
he'll go
so he
back
takes
to the
a-
ship and get it.
A trip back to the ship.
Um,
Cha-Cha will also ask that they can have access to the ship to bring their cyberware on because they're pretty sure they're going to have to get out real quick after you guys
yeah.
do this.
Yeah. So Ziana would inquire about, do they have something like body scanners for detecting concealed weapons that are not firearms?
It depends on how you try and get in. So if you try and sneak through a door and then just use your cover once you're in there, you won't have to deal with body scanners. If you try and bluff your way through, yes, there will be body scanners.
Are we thinking bluffing or sneaking?
Oh, I think Thea was thinking bluffing when she was originally pitching the plan.
Well-
Because it would be the scientists with the guards.
And we are going to get a meeting arranged, right? So that'll help the bluffing. Okay, so then Ziana will not go armed.
Okay. Cha-Cha will confirm that you have the equivalent of sort of 6 a.m. meeting scheduled with one of Lykugun's deputies. So this would, let's go with a name. Let's grab a
I
name.
had to decide if Thea was taking her gun or not, and I just rolled, and she's not, or not her gun, her knife, and she's not taking her knife.
Let's go with Pravat.
Pravat is a great name.
Pravatai.
Pravat.
Kind of one of the sort of business deputies in the R&D department that you were on their schedule.
Also sleeveless,
Did you give them?
just to be clear.
Yeah. There are very few sleeves on this.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
But no. It's got these, and then there's more crisscrossing up to the arms. So
Right,
the
like
muscles,
wraps,
yeah,
kinda,
but the muscles can show through. Yeah. There's
yeah.
also mesh in places on the pants.
You
There's
need a
mesh
little
panels.
mesh, You need to give them a little of what they want.
The epaulets are made of LEDs.
Just to be clear, what is your strength?
My strength is 11.
Excellent. Mine is 18. And I have... so I just wanted to be clear about Ziana's muscle definition being better.
You're also 50% larger than me.
Yes.
And covered in
There's
scales.
no
Yes.
question.
There's-
No.
Just saying.
It's
Just
not.
wanted
It's not
to be
about how
clear.
buff he is. It's about just how well he's shaped and shaped by this particular vestment.
Either way, I would say that when Thea walks in and sees Conrad in that getup, painkillers or no. She's just mostly gonna look at him for a really long moment. She's gonna look up, and then she's gonna look down and back up again, and then she's going to walk to the bedroom, and she's gonna look back at him like, "What are you waiting for?"
We have one bedroom.
Yup.
She
It's
walks
a
right
penthouse
by.
suite. There's more than one bedroom.
I mean, that's fine. We knew anyways.
We
It's
knew it was
fine.
coming.
This is not a surprise.
Conrad shrugs and goes in after him.
Please tell me the walls are
I
soundproof.
hope they close the doors.
They're there for 3 hours.
Oh, you
No,
chose
you
hours.
have that much time.
Okay, 3 minutes.
How about 30 minutes?
30 minutes.
Let's go with
It wasn't 3, so it has to be some version of 3.
So-
So 30 minutes.
let's go with 30 minutes, because otherwise, and.
Well, okay.
Am I healed?
Do you try and do you inform them that you need healing? 'Cause-
Yeah.
Okay.
And it'd probably be pretty clear too.
Yes. In which case, add
As you're getting
one
blood
system
all
strain
over
and be
the
healed.
Sorry?
One system strain. Because you probably have to forego like the full night's sleep to recover.
Where do I mark system strain? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, there's probably a spot, and your max is your con score.
Okay.
And how much do I heal?
You'll heal fully.
Oh, fully?
Yeah.
Sweet.
They're able to.
54.
So
How many hit points you got there, Conrad?
38.
Just check.
we're a team.
It's not a competition.
It's not.
Are you?
No, I was just
Are you?
curious.
Are you?
I
Are you
think it
okay? Are
might
you
be.
feeling insecure?
No. I was just curious.
I'm just a
Is
little.
this a competition? Oh wait.
No, it's okay.
No, go for it.
I just. Did you like where's Pam? Kika's like,
Where's your outfit?
and
We
where is
have
it?
a little white robe for you, and we're not gonna tell Kika where we got it.
Yes.
There it is. It's a
Great.
little white robe, perfectly Kika sized.
Is it?
How did you even get 18? I don't think that's possible.
It is. She took some feats.
Oh.
So
I love how you just one eyebrow.
Yeah.
I think one of them is your alien feat too.
Yeah.
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 So like, it doesn't button up all the way.
No, wait. Alien feet is how I got that many hit points.
Oh, that's right.
Like-
I am very not charismatic and extremely not wise.
That's why these people are your crew.
Is that why you keep checking in with me about what my stats are? 'Cause you don't have the charisma or wisdom to go to us.
Sorry.
So, Thea and Conrad are indisposed for
I got it.
30 minutes,
Did you give me glasses?
give or take.
No, you have.
There's
gum.
like one of those egg timers, and it goes tick, 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 ding. And then
Thankfully, they
Yeah,
are
just
used
come
to
back
that sort of thing here, so it's pretty well soundproofed.
Thank
um,
God.
Unlike the copulation cube.
We have it's gonna be great. You have 11. We finished it.
No, wait a second, wait a moment. I just want you all to know that if Ziana ever hears that phrase, copulation cube, it's going to be vetoed immediately, and the person who said it might be ejected into space.
You can blame chat for that one.
Why would it be a cube?
I'm making a rectangular prism of a room.
That makes more sense. A
So
cube
the
is-
copulation rectangular prism.
You don't need it to be cubical.
I mean, okay, but it doesn't have the same. It doesn't roll off the tongue in the same way.
Copulation cube.
Copulation rectangular prism.
The,
Yeah.
the recreational
So,
prism.
Cha-Cha will thank you for giving them access to the ship. Assuming that you're going to need to
Yes.
make a pretty swift exit once you're there, gives you like some piece of information about like her, the painkillers will wear off eventually.
Yeah, that's
Be
normal.
aware of that. There may be some wooziness or some dizziness.
Especially if she wears herself out, but it's fine.
Typically, I would recommend a different kind of bed rest. I don't understand most of you.
Thanks.
They're in that honeymoon phase.
It's something that my people forgave a long time ago. Once we figured out we didn't need to.
It's fair enough. What do you... Never mind, I don't want to know.
Grow them.
Oh,
They're not doing it in order to procreate.
Then why would they do it?
Why do you
Yeah, Ziana.
inject substances into your person?
You make a good point. Well, I suppose I can't argue with that. It's just, it's not a thing that it's not my pleasure, but we're on Mira, so who am I to criticize? I will get my supplies loaded onto your ship. It was very talkative when I arrived. That's normal, I
Yes.
presume.
Very normal.
Okay. And you have the data protocols. She is fully installed and highly operational. And you have an excellent plan. I'm sure it will go swimmingly.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for agreeing to
believe
come
this
with
will
us
be a
after we've risked our lives.
mutually beneficial relationship.
I hope so.
I didn't want to say anything in front of.
Are
I'm
you
just-
back out now?
Yeah.
Is Cha-Cha left?
we're-
Cha-Cha leaves.
You fully buttoned and
Oh, I look great.
Down and okay, just checking.
Theo looks a little messed up.
Somehow Conrad looks even more immaculate than when we went in.
You have a little glitter,
Oh,
right?
it's just part of me.
No, it's definitely part of. Never mind.
I didn't want to say anything while they were here. I'm just going to call them the Johnson for the sake of
How rude.
convenience.
They have a name. Their name is Cha Cha. It's not hard to remember.
But what do we have a plan? What is our plan?
Yes, I came up with it.
Our plan is to impersonate a pair of scientists with a pair of mercenary bodyguards, and then go to our 8 a.m. appointment with Pravat Tai.
Yeah.
Do we have a story for what the scientists are there for? Or?
Yeah, we're there to
You're not
study
expected to
more
actually
about-
go to
Yeah,
the
we're not.
meeting.
We're gonna slip in the elevator, and then we're gonna say like, "See you."
Someone might ask.
What the nature of the meeting is at the security checkpoint?
Yes.
Look, I'll make it up.
Okay.
It'll be great, and just let me do the talking. We'll be fine.
Her eyes twitching a little bit.
Tell people.
We'll
everything.
let Thea do
Your
the
eye,
talking.
like,
My eyes like yeah. Her eyes like. She's like, it'll be fine, guys. It'll be fine.
Are you
The bye-bye binary.
are you okay?
Yeah.
Does blood
It's
trickle
really
from her
freaky
eye?
when you do that. I'm really
Like,
glad
out of
that
character.
the video is we're streaking well again, because that's freaky.
Thank you. I can do it with both eyes.
All
So
right.
with that, no, that's really impressive.
What? I missed it. Ah!
And that's what Thea looks like.
That's what her fingers do.
Just this the. Oh my goodness.
God.
I'll stop.
You're really talented. Are we there yet?
I presume you have begun walking there as this is happening. You make your way to a large building.
Okay.
You are in front of you is the pavilion, the Starlight Pavilion. It is large. There's a big ass sign on the front of it saying Starlight Pavilion. A lot of things are made of glass, and then sort of further up it sort of stops being glass, as you mentioned. There maybe is the more secured sort of areas. It seems like the bottom section is fairly large, and as you go in, like, it sort of rings around these kind of observation areas. There's lots of people and drinking and talking and chatting and everyone. Although you're going in fairly early in the morning, so what it actually looks like is a lot of people a little bit hungover and moving fairly slowly, and sort of the ends of the parties happening as you see the sun slowly tipping above the horizon in the distance, kind of in the opposite end of you of where you were. And so you sort of like see it, the light sort of starting up just on the horizon as you make your way into this building and see kind of these sort of like drowsy and dreary people, and then a few like much more alert and awake individuals who seem to be here because it's business time and time for business and party is over, and definitely a number of individuals who like you see like one or two who are like sort of that zombie like, and then pop something open, knock something back, and they're like woo, ready to go. Or a couple of people who just sort of like twitch suddenly and then sort of start moving again. As everyone here kind of again has you see a lot of chrome, a lot of cyberware, a lot of mesh, a lot of strapping and no sleeves, that sort of air of cyberpunk around you. The main entranceway of the building, you see essentially your first sort of section of it, like you can almost go straight in, kind of like the hotel in Vegas. And you walk past what you definitely assume is a very large casino, and then other things that are similar to casinos, and then there's like a racetrack on one of the floors. And you can make your way through up sort of the elevators to another floor, which would essentially be kind of the barrier. So I'll just have everyone for fitting in. Fairly low bar. Go ahead and
no.
give me a perform in charisma, unless you want to give me a reason why you might use something else.
What about
Let me use my new die.
What about connect? Because to connect with people, you have to be able to relate to them on some level.
No, give me perform.
I did it, guys. There's no way I didn't do
What
it.
about,
I did it.
What about strength and
I want to negotiate too.
because she's channeling her soldier training to appear like an alert guard.
Okay, I will either take lead in charisma or strength and perform, whichever one's your higher.
Okay.
I lose both ways.
I did good.
What
I
is
did
your
good.
What is your justification?
I would say that I
How are
have
you
military
presenting?
training, and so looking like I'm basically on duty is not a problem for me at all. So
It's my business. It's my-
I would go
Wait.
with I guess my no, because I know that.
I can take no in charisma.
All right. Well, at least that way I don't default. All right. 8.
Okay, 8,
7.
7,
8 because of my white suit.
9.
9.
Oh.
Ziana is
got that
most
2
on
strength.
her shit. Ziana is most on her shit. Like, she maybe doesn't look like she belongs, but she looks like you don't want to fuck with her. So no one who doesn't work there is going to say anything to her, and even the people who work there in these sections, unless they have a reason, like she is doing something she is not supposed to be doing, they have no reason to like stop her or say anything to her. And that kind of carries over a little bit onto the rest of you. Thea's twitching a little bit more than would be expected to someone who's like ready to be at a meeting this morning. Kiko mostly only stands out because she is
I'm so glad I can only see one of your
I
eyes.
have a
very
white
different,
suit.
and she-
the
but she's
issue
a
is
white
my
little
wings,
suit.
the way they work for my hands to go out of the sleeve, the rest of the wing has to stay in the sleeve. So like, cause Thea's wings are 3 parts. They're this to this, and there's one longer piece.
No, we definitely would have put slits
Oh,
down the side of the
good,
cover.
good.
Oh.
Then it just goes, nah. I'm just doing that the entire time.
Thea's like pretending to look at a compad, but her eyes just keep going.
Yeah. So Thea is also distracted now by like new readouts of information that she's getting of like data lines. It's like one of those things where, you know, when you're in a video game and you get like those weird overlays that give you extra information. So this is suddenly like she's getting like overlays of stuff that she hasn't gotten before. I assume you've never really had any AR sort of augmented reality vision, and this is like you just been thrown into the deep end on this. So you're very like flashing light, flashing lights flashing, lights flashing, because there's a lot of wiring here.
She's trying to be cool about this.
But that would account for her least coolest. Conrad looks pretty normal.
Even
Hey.
Maybe not comfortable,
How about that?
but he walks forward and
He knows
how
how
to
to
walk.
look normal.
Does Conrad ever look comfortable?
In this situation,
Ever.
he likes his duds right now, so
Oh, okay.
that helps a little.
He does?
I think he
Aw.
does. Yeah.
Has he ever been this fancy before?
He's been like in very formal attire, but he's never been in anything that was sort of formal like this. But also,
fashionable.
yeah, exactly. It's
so
the-
military punk.
something designed to make him look good.
Yeah.
Like that's
Oh no, and
That's
that
new for
assistant knows how to dress people.
Thea appreciates it.
Oh my god.
everyone
Also is
appreciates it, I
distracted
think.
by his ass because they're very tight-fitting pants.
Okay.
Thea falls to the back of the line.
We're going through the checkpoint.
Rihanna
The GM
pushes
says
her
it,
back
it's-
to the front of the line.
The GM says it. It's canon.
They need to have those hormones because they're still pupae in terms of their growth charts. And testosterone and hormones.
I'm
Is
pretty
this
sure
what
they're-
Kika is saying to Ziana while they're talking?
Am I like walking in front of you guys while you're discussing this?
pretty sure they're full grown by human standards. No, I'm
Oh.
fairly I'm quite familiar with what
Is
constitutes an adult.
Can you see them, or is your sonar just pinging so hard off of yeah? So.
Oh, I was just saying you guys. Like I'm not
Oh.
talking about your butt.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my butt.
No. No.
We're here to provide quality content for you.
I think their pituitary gland is still functioning, is what I'm saying.
Do you know what a pituitary gland does?
She knows that it's not a kidney.
It's not a kidney. It's not related to the I looked this up today. Excretion system.
It's not a system.
It's okay. So I just wanted, just for the clarification of, my own mind's eye theater, is Kika walking on her own right now?
Yeah.
Next to Ziana?
Yeah.
As they're having this conversation?
It's a very weird conversation.
Gianna's like doing it like this, and also has to walk very slowly.
I four-legged walk when I need to move.
So there's some
There's some real weird conversation happening.
So,
yeah.
There's a lot of yelling from Kika.
Pituitary gland.
Thea's gonna be like, meep. Look, there's a lot of stimuli happening right now, and if we could not talk about glands, that would be great.
meep, or just keep it to the meep space. Also works.
I forgot that we could be psychic. I say out loud. Sorry. Meep.
Oh, we're so good at this.
Profesh.
Yeah.
So we get.
So you get to the checkpoint. Essentially, at this point, like you get to what would be considered the sort of barrier between the public space and the private space of this building and facility. The individuals in front of you essentially see, like you register a lot of the scanners, like anything like that. It's not like an airport, right, where you have to walk through something. It's just sort of actively kind of happening. So they're gonna get information on you. It's actually fairly minimal. There's like a person who seems like a sort of receptionist-y kind of person, like sitting at a desk with like some screens in front of them, and then sort of to the side you see like at least one guard sort of posted, and you suspect there's a couple of other kind of milling around, but it's fairly quiet at this point. You've gone up several floors. All of the sort of drunken stupor people are no longer there, and pretty much like a handful of other people are coming in. You see maybe like 2 or 3 other people sort of coming through this area, and everyone seems to just walk through that you see. They just sort of go past the front.
Just do that.
Thea just keeps walking
Yeah.
as
Ziana.
normally as she possibly can.
Ziana will hold step with the group.
Do you walk past the reception desk?
Why wouldn't we?
Oh, no, Thea pauses to stop at the reception desk to check in for their appointment.
This is puzzle solving 101 for the GM.
So Thea walks up, she goes,
Hello.
hello, we're here for a meeting with Pravat Tai. Should be an 8 o'clock meeting.
And your name is?
My name is Thea Brome.
What name did you give Chacha?
Not
I would have given, no, I gave her Thea Brome, didn't I?
You told her Nia when you
Oh.
first met her.
Oh.
Sorry.
Did you
that is a
specify?
player.
Yeah. Did you specify a different name to go under in the system or anything like that? Or were you just giving her your full name?
I would have told her I was Nia Brome.
Nia Brun.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a player
That's okay.
forgetting.
I was like,
No, you're right.
clarify that.
Nia Brome.
And you are?
That's my assistant, Kika.
Go ahead and give me a talk and charisma.
Yay, talk. Oh, and yay, charisma. Okay.
Uh-oh.
God.
Stop.
Boo dice!
8.
Okay. Yes, I have you in the system, and all I'll need you to do is they're your guards. They said you would be bringing some of those. Can I make a note here about what the meeting is going to be about? I didn't have any information in it.
Yes, he wanted to tell us a little bit more about the cyberware capabilities that he's working on. I believe that they might be constructive to what we're...
Yeah.
Meep.
Meep, meep. Oh my god, there is so much stimuli right now. Could you just not?
I need you just to check in over there with the guard. They'll run you through a quick security protocol scan. Otherwise, you're good to go. They'll direct you to the meeting.
Thank you.
What weaponry did you bring?
None.
None. Okay, you brought no weapons.
I brought my rifle, and also I've got concealed my thermal pistol.
Okay.
I am my own weapon.
I was like, your weapon is strength.
We
Yeah.
can't all be
Kika.
strength 18.
You haven't even seen the stats on my arm.
This is my gun.
Thea Kika.
I brought my multi-tool,
Okay.
which is
That's
just,
really
it can
a
turn
weapon.
into a screwdriver.
That's an improvised weapon, yes. In that context, anything's a weapon.
I have definitely stabbed something with this screwdriver before.
You have. Wasn't that the inside of a heart?
No, it was a roto blade.
Oh, that's right.
It went,
Oh,
and then,
was this when I was out?
No, this is when I was in a heart. That was the heart.
Oh, you're right.
The second episode.
Thea, did you bring anything? Did you bring your throwing rifle?
No, I rolled for this earlier because I couldn't decide, and no, Thea did not bring her knife or her rifle.
Okay, no throwing rifle. As you walk forward, the guard just sort of looks up. I'm gonna need you to leave your rifle here. You can carry the pistol with you.
Okay.
Meep, just roll with it.
Conrad unholsters his
They, like,
rifle and
have
checks
sort
it.
of a locker and like check it in, and there's the whole
Do I
like
get a little
coat check.
tag?
Yeah, you get a little
Great.
like RFID tag.
Meep, say goodbye to that rifle.
Meep, I'm not very comfortable with this.
All right, wait here a moment, and one of my associates will come direct you to the meeting.
Is there anybody around us after he says that?
There's the receptionist, there is the guard, and
Okay, so we do have witnesses.
So we can't just leave.
there is no one else, but there is the receptionist.
Meep, meep. Do we all need to go to the bathroom?
Meep, we could just wait until we get in a hallway alone with whoever is leading us.
And then kill him.
then I knock them out.
Meep, meep. Or we all go to the bathroom.
Meep, you're supposed to go to the bathroom before the mission. Everyone knows that.
Meep, meep, look, if we leave them alive, then they'll just wake up later and come after us.
God, I can't wait till you're up against a bunch of psychics.
Today is not that day!
So I assume eventually someone comes to pick us up. As
Yeah,
we're
like 2 minutes later, at most, another guard will come and say thank you. Come with, she'll sort of say thank you. Come with me. This one is a yeah.
Yeah, do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Do
I was
it.
gonna say it's an Angulan. Their tail just sort of like moves across the ground. They're the Nagas. They're the psionic. They're the psionic
No.
Nagas.
That means they're gonna talk in our brain too.
How dare you? So they're the psychics.
Yeah, I just wanted the tail to be moving, and then I was like, oh, they're psychics. Yeah. So you would know, especially Conrad would recognize the Angulans are a psionic race. They are all agender, and they have like large tails. They're a little bit slimy all over the place,
These
but
are the mermaids.
yeah, they're the mermaids.
Okay.
Sort of. They're more like Nagas because they're land based, but they're also
They like
arguably
water.
they're amphibious.
Okay.
But-
So they're all a little bit slimy, and they're all psychic.
And they're the ones who are
Psionic.
fighting to keep the.
They do not like androids,
Yeah, to
so it's a
fighting
little
to
bit
keep them
weird
out
to
of
see one
Ica.
here.
Because they can't communicate with
Yeah.
yeah.
Although this place isn't full of androids, it's just full of cyberware, so it's a little bit different. Sort of slide on over. They do not appear to have any weapons.
As we're walking along, Thea's gonna like just get as kind of as close to the wall as she can to see.
First, I get you up in an elevator,
Okay.
so you are like do 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 do.
You can maybe hack the music that's playing.
I mean, she's very tempted, but that might get mixed
Ziana
around.
mentally, not over like meeps, but just mentally starts kind of singing along with this tune that she recognizes in the elevator, and she's gonna keep doing that. But in her brain.
The guard starts doing it out loud. And then you all kind of feel like it's in your head a little bit, but also you're hearing it.
Yeah. Okay.
What do I know about this species and like their psionic abilities? Like, do they have the ability to, like, say, be probing us right now, or is that?
To some varying capacity, yeah. They can pretty much, they actually originally did not have any verbal speech. They have since developed it. Since contact, but they used to only communicate telepathically. So most of the ones that you see outside of Angulan societies have verbal capability, like speech capabilities, but still rely will often rely heavily on telepathic. Ica does have some regulations around that they have agreed to around like consensual probing. But
That's kind of probing.
it's consent is important. You know, depending on how like strict legal controls you have in a specific region, like there's some variations on it. But typically speaking, if someone's doing anything other than like communicating verbally with you, you're going to be aware that it's happening because you will need to resist it in some capacity.
So none of us feel like we're being.
No.
All right.
In our knowledge of how the building is, based on what we were given, is where she's taking us going to be closer to where we need to be or further away?
Closer. So you are going to be directed to an office of a deputy. The server that Cha-Cha gave you indicated that you needed to be kind of in that vicinity. You probably would need to go up like maybe one or two floors to get to like the core area where Kai's offices are. Sorry, Lai Kugan, like his offices are, because that's going to be, it's on his server essentially, like his sort of private server portion. And you're going to one of the deputies, so you're going to be relatively close.
So
You also know there are stairs in this building, like once you're on the inside.
once we get there, okay. So I think V would hold off on giving any sort of like signal to knock out this person until they get into the meeting, because it would make.
We're not going to get that far.
You're not. Okay. All right. Never mind then. Thea doesn't do anything. She's, in her mind, they're going to wait until they get into the meeting, and then they're going to knock the guy out in the meeting, because then they would still technically be in the meeting space.
Oh, see.
And then they would leave and go. But she didn't communicate any of this
Nope.
like she should have.
See, I thought.
See that time when I was asking about the plan and you were all like, "Oh, we got a plan."
Ziana, do you do anything? Okay, what do you do in this elevator? Do you do anything?
No, not in the elevator.
Okay, not in the elevator.
There's
So
always
you exit the elevator and you go down a hallway, and the
So,
Mandolin just sort of starts leading you down
anybody
the
else
hallway.
in the hallway?
Yeah, as you walk past, I have yes, no, died this one. So as you're walking down the hallway, you see kind of at one end, you see like a couple of people who seem to be just sort of talking like outside of a door. They're fairly wide hallways. You see like a large number of doors off of them. It's sort of spacious, reasonable lighting, but it is all like very interior. And then walking past you would appear to be like two off-duty, or not off-duty, but two like more security personnel. They don't look like as guard-like. They look more like people who would just be sort of monitoring the building.
We might get to the meeting room after all. Ziana is not going to do anything as long as there are other people in the hallway.
Okay.
So unless we get to a certain point where there are other people in the hallway, or no other people in the hallway.
Okay. You gonna kind of turn a corner, and you're let out into sort of a more of a waiting area. You suspect like it's kind of like a two-part office. And so clearly there is the door that will lead into this person's office that you're supposed to be with, and there is just sort of a waiting area. There doesn't look like there's any receptionist here. You see like a desk that might be for someone, but they're clearly not here yet if they're supposed to be here. And it's off of the main hallway. There aren't really like doors separating you from, or they're like kind of glass doors. They're not like high security doors or anything. But there will be no one else, and the Angulin will indicate sort of like, sit down.
Okay.
Thea will sit down.
I will also sit down.
The guards probably remain standing, I think.
This guard is going to remain standing. In her brain, still going over that song.
So there's no one in this office except for the Angolan who's brought us here.
And she's staying? Is
There.
it clear that she's going to stay and wait until we get into this office?
She has not indicated that she's leaving yet.
She'll get a minute or two. Not literal minute or two.
I got this.
Does
Beep beep. I got this.
Ding.
Where's the bathroom?
Ding, ding, ding.
Can
Right
you
across
please
the
show me
hallway.
I am blind?
Give me a perform.
Wow.
oh God.
That's
Good
like-
plan.
Wow.
She's trying super hard to stay stone-faced, but she's like,
This isn't the plan.
What?
Wait, what am I rolling? I'm sorry.
Welcome to Shadowrunning with Claudia.
I get it.
I think
wait,
this is
wait. Wait, just to be clear. If I fail, I can use my free success.
no, your re-roll. It's not a success, it's a re-roll.
You're the one. I got 8. Is that gonna let me pass?
Kind of look at you and like walk to the door. It is right there across the hallway.
I am still.
I cannot go to the bathroom for you.
This is very rude.
Are you just watching us while we stay here?
The usual person who would be on duty in this room appears to not be here, so
Ah.
in
Then we're just waiting for the.
in
What
case
is it, professor, scientist?
Pravat,
We're just waiting for.
Well,
Mr. Tide needs anything.
This is very convenient.
while
The bathroom's right across.
she's
Oh, it's almost got
or
ten.
while the Naga is distracted with this discussion, I just elbow Thea and I indicate the hand.
Thea looks at you like she's not quite sure what you're getting at.
I like do this towards the desk.
Thea stands up and.
Do you need something?
Oh no, thank you. I just was stretching my legs. It's been a long travel. I'm sure you can understand. And Thea just sort of like tries to circle the room, and as she's doing that, she's just sort of touching whatever she's going past, and eventually she makes her way to slide her hand along the desk and see if there's anything that. I've got to be able to place line shunts. I'm just gonna be able to tell if there's something I can control.
Well, where is this bathroom exactly? And she continues to engage
Yeah,
in
like,
conversation
I'm-
about where is this bathroom
It
exactly?
is right there.
Okay.
I am pointing at it.
Keep-
Are-
As a player, like
Kika,
that
do
is
you-
BS that it's right across the hall. You mean like, oh, okay, and like,
oh God.
Kika, do you feel comfortable making that on your
yes,
own?
yes, thank you so
you
much,
like an
lovely.
escort?
No, I'm okay.
I say
what
that
you
partly
paid
because
me for.
in one of my an office that I worked in, like our manager's office was directly across the bathroom, which like makes it super awkward every time you have to go to the bathroom. But I like it's the biggest office room.
Yeah.
No,
Like the
but
door's open.
No, I actually, like,
No,
Kika
but,
did
like,
not go to the
They
bathroom.
know,
for
like they
you.
know how many times you're going, and it's like I drink a lot of coffee, guys.
Ziana's going to continue to engage in
Yeah.
this completely needless conversation.
Go ahead and roll me a program in intelligence.
You're distracting. I actually went to the bathroom. My character, at least.
So do you roll like an exert?
No, I'm assuming I do not have to roll for bathroom checks.
So, what are the benefits like here?
Very good.
Really?
Yes.
Could you tell me more? Are they often hiring? Do they require you to have the cybernetic?
It is part of our systems, yes.
I could hear that.
I got a 10.
A 10, awesome. So with that, you're able to do the asking a specific question of the system. What are you looking for? Or getting sort of general information. Like what kind of information are you trying to get from your basic hack?
Is there anyone else around? Like in the
Like
general-
camera access?
Huh?
Like camera access or something like
Yeah,
that?
camera access or individuals. If there's any way of knowing if there are individuals in the hall. That sort of thing.
You're able to know that Pravat is not in the office yet, and you kind of basically get access to the schedule and sort of the information that's on that computer. So you don't really know about like security personnel people on this floor, but you know that Pravat is not here yet. You were quite early for the meeting. They probably won't get here for a little bit longer, and the guard/receptionist, like the assistant who is in this room normally, isn't going to be working for like another hour. They're still sleeping,
Gotcha.
possibly, or getting prepared. Like meetings this early are somewhat unusual. You didn't see any other ones on the schedule, which might be part of why things are a little bit odd. But the schedule, like the rest of it, looks really pretty packed. You do get the idea that if you could place a line shunt on this system, you probably need at least one more somewhere else, but that would get you pretty close to being able to hack into the system.
Okay.
The server that you need to get the data on.
So, is the guard's attention directed toward
Currently,
these
they
sort-
are engaged in quite an important conversation about benefits
Compensation.
and compensation.
So Thea's gonna try to place a line shunt underneath
Okay.
on the desk.
Go ahead and give me a sneak and dexterity.
Oh,
And add your
hey.
bonus.
Really?
Yeah, because I got weird fingers.
Don't roll 3 ones.
Weird.
Why would you say that?
Because it's what I've been doing.
Well, actually, thank you, because that was a really nice roll. Okay, so let's see. Which one of these do I want to? I want to do this.
It worked.
Go ahead and roll me your probably charisma and no
It's okay.
or connect or perform talk.
Be a friend check.
I fail at that.
The talk about or work. I'll take work. Like talk about your
Talk
job.
about jobs. Forgot that work was a skill that none of us have. Do you have that skill?
I mean, I feel like that's kind of that's applicable.
Yeah.
So what skills did you just list off?
No, that
Charisma
we
with many of any
What have you got?
talk, know, work, connect.
Is work a thing?
Yeah,
Work is a job. So you say like if you
knowing about
work-
your job.
Yeah.
6.
6. You are not compelling in your conversation, but you are distracting enough that they did not see you placing the line shunt.
Oh, good.
13.
So you kind of have to take a moment as you sort of sidle around the desk and access the panels that have the actual wiring in it, and then slip the shunt onto it. They can operate through a little bit of distance, but they need to be pretty close. So you slide it on there, and it's not the most subtle line shunt because it is directly on someone's desk, but you're pretty confident that this person's not going to be here for another hour, so it's at least not going to get caught for an hour.
Okay.
I have returned.
I am glad you did not drown.
Thea meanders away.
That's a thing
from
that can
this.
happen.
Meep meep. Are we? Do we need a?
Thank you so much for your time. I'm sure you have a very busy morning. I can wait here with my bodyguards. I'm sure we won't be harassed with both of them here. If you don't mind, I have some work to do, and I would rather not share it with prying ears, as my assistant does not have the eyes to be able to share it on a written way. Would you mind giving us some privacy, please?
Roll me your talk and charisma.
I don't think. Can wait.
Are you trying to argue against her
This is
ability
Claudia.
to
This is Claudia. Are we different frequencies of psychic talk?
You guys are not from birth able to be psychic.
Oh, she can read our minds, and we're talking with our minds.
Well, no, this is Claudia. Can we be frequency 97 and
With enough practice, you probably could.
Oh.
You guys are
We're baby
significantly
psychics.
less capable than someone who was born with the ability.
This
Right.
is
I
also
can't
our
imagine why.
first encounter with
Yeah.
one of these aliens, too.
I rolled a 7.
That's good.
I can wait in the hallway.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You won't mind if I close the doors? Again, prying ears, it's sensitive.
They're glass doors.
Well, yes.
Feel free to close them.
Thank you.
Oh, because they can see us. Yeah, I get it. I understand. Okay.
The glass doors close. Ingwilin sort of slides out. And you can kind of just see like their tail just sort of flicking in front of the hallway door. You notice that most Ingolans, when they're not like on their native planets or ships, like tend to wear like suits that like fully encase all of their slime.
That must get rough by the end of the day.
They're pretty well designed at this point.
Yeah,
But
I
like otherwise they literally leave like nail
It's
trails.
like a still suit.
Yeah, it is basically.
Oh.
It sort of like keeps them lubricated and like has little like gripper feet so they can move properly across the ground.
Yes.
Maybe recycling their mucus into the precious water of, I don't know.
No.
What are you doing?
Dune.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Slime sacks.
Thea, did you get what you needed?
Yeah, but we gotta get out of this room, and I don't have an answer for that one yet.
Once we get out of the room, are we done here? Can we go?
No, we need to place one more line shunt, and then we've got to get into that
Do you
secure
know
server.
Do you know where another terminal would be? Can you tell from your new abilities?
You have a rough idea of like the other location that you'd need to place one.
Which is?
Probably up in like one of the like security offices, because this one gets you kind of into like the personal files. You need something to get through, bypass some of the security. You know from some of the information that you were given by Cha-Cha that there is like a security station like sort of at the end of the hallway. And it's pretty early, so you saw like 2 people who appeared to be some sort of security for this floor, and that would probably be most of the number of people that would be on this floor.
Are we being surveilled?
Always.
I don't have a way to be able to tell that from here, but I would be surprised if he would put cameras in the actual office. I don't know. Maybe.
Can we?
I don't
Do
have a
you
good
know
answer.
how long we have before this person gets here?
An hour before the receptionist, I don't know. It depends on when he looks at his calendar. But on the other hand, if he gets here, could just be another absent-minded. We just need to get rid of the guard, which
I can get rid of the guard. Just tell me that I'm getting rid of the guard.
yeah.
Kika, I need you to be
Oh boy.
Ooh, this could be a bad plan.
Oh goodness.
God. You know what? No, I'm second guessing that one. Don't worry, I'll get rid of the guard. I'm gonna
Preferably dead. Kika's
What?
ears pop up already, and then they like slowly sink down.
I'm gonna need everybody to act natural and to not think about things.
I'm always natural.
Do you need backup?
I always think about things because I'm the
Conrad
smartest.
talks out of
Did
his
you
sides
know
mouth.
that kidneys
What was
clean
the,
the sugar out of your blood?
What?
Oh my god.
Kika,
Oh.
are you spouting anatomy facts?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Good.
Kidney stones are bad.
Guard. Yes.
Guard.
Here around the doorway.
Are they? They're not a guard, are they? They're like a.
They're in security for the. They're like
Okay.
they're corp cop.
Guard. Could you come back in here? There seems to be some kind of problem.
There's something I want to show you.
There seems to be some kind of problem with Kika.
Okay.
Seems to be some kind of problem with the door.
Wait,
The one
really?
that just opened.
No, with the bath. I think she's done something. Honestly,
I'm inside
I am
the room
in front
with
of
you.
the bathroom. I am.
Could you just come over here?
Wait, we are all in.
Just take a look at this. And she points it and she's like jiggling the door to the bathroom. Like,
The
how do
door
you?
to the bathroom is
what
in the
is this?
hallway with the
Oh, never
guard.
mind.
Yeah, it's not in the
Okay.
office. Okay.
Damn it.
You guys are in like a waiting room outside of the
Okay,
office.
okay, we gotta,
Alright.
okay.
Let's back up a little bit.
Okay, so there's no
Okay.
bathroom. Okay.
Oh,
Back up a little bit.
How long do you
Then I'm
wait?
just
Do
gonna-
you give it any time, or do you like immediately go after the guard?
No, we can wait because that would be really weird if we were like, please leave, please come back.
Well, but if we wait, then the receptionist is gonna show up.
You know
We're
you
gonna
have an
give it-
hour before the
I'm-
assistant
I'm
comes.
I'm gonna give it like 5-10 minutes, and then did the door lock that they opened, that they
Which-
closed behind us, the glass door?
No, they're like
Okay,
sliding doors.
just checking. Ziana opens the door and says, "Excuse me, do you have any idea how much longer this is going to be?"
Before Pravat gets here, hopefully soon. Your appointment was in what, 30 minutes.
Can you please go check on it? Our time is valuable.
You're the ones who came early. I'm sorry, I can't fix the decisions that you made.
Do you have any kind of? And she approaches the guard as she's saying this. Like, do you have any kind of way of radioing in? And is she going to be allowed to get close enough to the guard?
How
Like,
close are you trying to get?
Conversational
Inches.
distance, which also happens to be within my reach.
I mean, your
Probably.
reach is like 3 feet.
Yeah, they'll sort of slide their tail
Within
kind of like
crushing
around
distance.
behind them.
Then crushing.
Yes. Who do you want
so
me to
while
contact?
she's and then
All right.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna like take her face like.
You were trying to
grab her
by the throat. So we will say you were trying to.
What I want to do is like bash her into a wall and knock her out.
That's gonna break
Okay,
the wall.
you're trying to grapple. So go ahead and start. We'll probably do this as an
Here we
attack.
go, friends. Okay.
Gonna be just a regular attack.
You know how Ziana fixes problems.
You know,
and she
I'm
said I would do it.
I'm beginning to remember that Thea needs to be very specific when she's planning heists.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought the bathroom thing was brilliant. It didn't work out.
Sensitivity in this.
Oh god.
Okay. So what am I rolling? Sorry.
You're
an attack
rolling an
roll?
attack roll, and then there's going to be an opposed punch versus exert to grapple.
I have a
Punch.
better plan.
First, you're going to roll punch, attack
Okay.
versus AC, and this won't do damage, and then you're going to try and grapple them.
20.
20. You succeed in grabbing them as they're sort of thrown back slightly, and you have their neck in your hands. To maintain this, go ahead or to keep it as an actual grapple, give me a punch versus an exert. This is a skill test, so 2d6.
Oh. Punch is a skill?
It can be used
Yeah.
either way.
6. Just straight punch or
wait.
strength 2?
It's the way you would normally roll to skill, so it's strength plus punch,
Okay.
unless you're using dex and punch.
6, 7, 8.
You managed to hold it, so you are gonna grapple them now, which will essentially make it. They will have to try and get out of that, and they won't be able to. That'll be their main action to get out of it. So they're going to, in the next turn, attempt to do it. So go ahead and roll me your punch attack to deal damage.
And that's my d20, right? It's been a while since I've done this.
Yeah.
Alright. Wait, am I rolling damage?
You've hit them. Yeah. So
Okay,
roll
so
your damage.
I roll
sorry.
my damage. Yeah. So I am using my left arm, which is my
murder.
D10. Yes, my murder arm. Let's pick a D10.
Ooh.
9 plus strength, 10, 11.
Okay. It's not quite enough to take them out, so they're gonna try and get out of your punch.
Before that, can
Uh-huh.
I quick draw my thermal pistol and
How aware of this happening are you?
I have been like very on edge about what Ziana clearly wants to do.
Okay.
So at least I think I am.
Yeah, go
So,
ahead.
I mean, as soon as I was like, I'll take care of it, we're like,
yeah.
okay.
So
I take care of things one way. I do it really well. This is the one thing I do.
So your weapon's ready, so you don't need to roll anything. You just need to shoot.
yeah, does my attack roll matter because because it's the Naga creature is grappled? Or is
Yes, because
Okay.
they still have armor.
it, 11, 12.
And also you have to contend around getting around a person.
Dice.
The only person who they have a penalty.
16.
16. You just hit.
Great.
That's a lot. Just hit
Uh,
at 16? Dang.
And it's going to do 7.
Did you fire a gun? But that's what just happened, isn't it?
It's a thermal pistol, so it's not. It doesn't make sound.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh.
That is such a relief.
For a second,
It's
not
I
a
thought-
relief.
Huh?
Does it specify that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's an energy weapon. It's not a.
So,
No,
sorry.
that means they don't make sounds. I mean, like we know how like guns work in most things.
But the door's enclosed again, right?
You
We're on the
attacked her
we're
in the hallway.
Oh, never mind. Specificity.
Well-
Specificity.
Our spatial awareness in this episode is very good.
You're really struggling with it.
If it does make a sound, it shouldn't make like.
Sorry.
It's not like a gun going off. Though. It's a,
It's the Angulan's going to try and get out
Is
of the
still alive?
grapple. Yeah, that's only like
I'm
20
not-
points of
Well,
damage.
I'm not trying to kill her. I'm just trying to knock her out.
I'm sure.
I mean, you can specify that it is not lethal damage, but
Yeah.
you still have to knock their hit
Yeah, no,
points
no,
down.
yeah.
I'm sure it's thrilled about that distinction right now.
They are going to try and break the grapple, so roll your strength.
Skill.
Yeah, punch.
Strength and punch.
Or yeah.
I think we've lost enchant completely right now.
Okay.
Ah.
We also should probably go to a break soon.
It's
Just
okay.
died.
We let's finish this roll because it's still gonna be on VOD, and then we'll take a break then. Right? Thank you. Sorry, I'm just like we're in the middle of a roll.
I can wait for a
No,
second.
we get totally disconnected. And now we're coming back.
Okay.
Yay!
So,
What was the result of your roll to maintain the grapple?
11.
11. You succeed. Yes. They unfortunately can't get up. As you are slowly choking them.
I did ask you to go.
If you are not fighting.
No.
Give me mental saving throws.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh, but he has done this before. Do I get any sort of like experience of having?
Saving throws rolling a d20.
Oh my god! Right. I need that. I totally need that.
I got it. 18. There's no
18.
way. No way.
19. Plus-
You are aware, this is not any, like, they're not trying to get into your head or do anything to you. You are aware that they are, like, they have sent a message. Like, they are like, calling for, like, individuals on this floor. They're trying to, like, starting
I like
their message.
right away.
You two
Oh,
aren't
Really
aware.
we
hoping
don't
to
know.
be done
You were.
with this before that happened.
Can since we're aware of that happening, can we essentially just put sound on the channel, like start humming the elevator song and just
Oh.
override it?
Remember, you are only psychic amongst yourself. You are
Ah.
not telepathic to people that are not telepathic.
Can
and
we-
But you can shout in their mind.
You are not psionic.
Can we put our hands together and attempt to become together
I wish really hard.
psychic?
Can we be like,
Yes.
Can the power of friendship?
That can be what Thea and Kika are trying to do. Roll me whatever you think would be most fitting for that.
It won't matter.
I'm
wait.
gonna miss this.
This has got to be connect? No.
Okay,
Sure.
Wait.
Roll whatever.
I have hack. Am I
Yeah.
hacking the psychic system?
Ziana.
We roll 2d6.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
I'm gonna take another knock at her against the wall.
All right.
I got 8.
Roll,
Wait, no,
you don't need
yeah.
to roll your attack because you were maintaining your grapple. Go ahead and.
Okay, you're the reason why this failed.
What did you roll? 4, and you rolled
8.
8. Both of you just hear really loud noise in your head. You just hear like the elevator song on full blast as Thea and Kika attempt to psychically.
I say, it's attacking us with the elevator song.
Da, 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 da,
Oh, wait.
da.
It's you guys.
How much damage? 4. They're thrown again and kind of appear to be fading.
I'm gonna take another shot.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
We tried.
20!
What's your
Bam!
max damage?
Max damage would be, I believe, 14.
Okay. That will finish it off. Finish
Nice.
them off as.
I think I just like go up point blank to it against the wall. And
Yes, like at this point, you're like, maybe I don't need to aim, and I can go purely for the squishy spots, and you blast the Angulan as they slump down, like a little bit of slime from the back of their head, and blood like trailing down the wall.
Murder them?
So we've definitely killed this person.
You just said you went point blank, like you.
You can't not
Did
leave.
you like head
I
execute?
mean,
What was
whatever,
Conrad
it's
aiming
fine.
for?
Thea
I think
nods.
it was the head.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I'm not proud, but
It's fine. It's
Thea
fine.
is proud.
it's
It's fine. We have to move quickly now.
yeah.
We need to get him out of here, and we need to wipe that down. And then
Yeah,
we need
that's
to move
there's no
quickly.
time for that. Like this is
All right,
Claudia.
you wipe a whole. Like she like slings the thing over its her shoulder, and the room that we were going to be meeting the person in is obviously unoccupied currently.
Yes,
Because
although
we've
it
been
is locked.
waiting.
Put him in the
I'm gonna
bathroom.
stuff them
Bathroom.
under
Bathroom.
bathroom.
Stuff them in the bathroom, which is conveniently across the hall.
Which is
in,
gonna
in a stall.
Kika can show you where it is.
be. Thanks.
Thea grabs like all of the whatever. Is there like a paper towel or is it like weird hand drying things? Is there anything I can grab out of the bathroom to
Is
do
there a
some
reason
sort of
we're
wipe
trying
down?
to clean up and
I
not
don't
just
know.
get the
Because
hell
I
out?
don't know.
With
Because
the-
whenever whoever arrives, arrives.
It's
But
all
there-
weird space time.
There's not going to be anyone there for a while.
It's a friggin' bit like Japanese toilet bidet that cleans your butt.
I will take off my cool
Well, the
new
bathrooms
white
are really weird in
suit.
space because they're non-gendered because
Yeah.
that doesn't
Wow.
mean anything when half of your
Oh.
aliens don't have genders.
I'm gonna take off my white suit. We're gonna get it wet and we're gonna use it to wipe the wall.
No, just go.
They are not going to be allowed
Finish the
this
hack.
much time
Yeah,
to do this.
so-
Ziana gives the group as long as it takes her to sling this person's corpse into a stall, shut the door.
Roll me your strength and exert.
Because like I'm assuming what's going to happen is she's gonna start taking off her jacket, and then that's when will I be grabbed by the back of the neck?
10.
You can
It is
assume
pretty
yes.
quick. You grab the body, you sling it into the bathroom. You don't even go for a stall. You just or the equivalent. You just sort of slide the body in, and it sort of skids along the floor. And then you kick the tail a little bit, so
this
it's
is
And
not
on
in
the
the hallway.
way, and on the way out, she grabs Kika, hauls her up onto her back, and is like, "We're going now.
You just touched
Lead
me,
the way."
you touched me with your dead person
Thea,
hands.
And with that, we shall take a quick break. Sorry, we've been a little long. Tonight's episode has been sputtering, but also delightful. I will read donations, then we will go to a break, and then we will come back, and then we will finish this heist, which has not gone wrong at all.
At all.
No, totally according to plan.
God.
No one communicated. Your plan was like when you said that, I was like, oh, that's a really great idea. Like go into the office, like knock the guy out. The office definitely won't have cameras in it. There will be no security personnel in there.
And we'll
you
be
just need to
expected-
wait. And then they will expect you to stay in there for like an hour.
It's a brilliant
No one
plan.
communicated that
Sarah.
plan.
Sarah just needs.
Okay,
I'm flashing
in
back
my-
to Shadowrunner.
In my defense,
pretty sure-
number one, Ziana hits things.
No, she has very little wisdom.
And number two, there was at least one opportunity to really the plan and stop me, but that's okay.
I
Also, butter.
Also, murdering the guard in the room would have been a great plan too.
it would have been. I thought the bathrooms was clever. Like everything we tried was almost.
You just almost did everything. All right,
That's
donations.
the story of my damn life.
He's kind enough to host us for a big old pile of people.
Hey, thank you for hosting us. Now I feel like we shouldn't
Maybe we
take
shouldn't.
a break.
That's okay.
We
We're
could just
good.
plow through.
Do you guys
Yeah.
let's
Let's
pause
just do it.
briefly and read donations.
Yeah.
I think, and then if the cast is comfortable,
you-
we'll jump right back in.
Do you mind if while you're reading donations, some
Yeah.
of us run off too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, take a break.
Yeah, I don't.
Take a break.
Okay, I don't
Take a
mind.
break. It wasn't a rape. It was just a host. Take
Oh,
a break.
Okay.
thank you.
Okay.
I don't
Well, we're gonna read
appreciate
donations
it. I'm just
because we appreciate them, and then we'll take a quick break, and then we'll be right back for
Break is
the
okay.
rest of it.
Thanks, Blue Jay.
The rest of it. Okay. So our first one. Wait, what date is today?
It's the
The
31st.
31st.
Hi,
The
Blue.
31st. Our first donation is from William_TW, who I believe has recently met one of our cast members. So this has turned into Corpse Sin City. I love it, and I love that I'm not the only one loving it. Time for a new tagline. Welcome to the Spiral.
No.
Spiral.
No.
No.
Thank you all, and thank you, Dan. Good luck on your new run in the
Thank you.
limelight.
I-
The backstage,
I'm putting other
backstage
people
blue
in
link.
The darkness of the backstage.
Is
the backstage.
is Blue Jay a punner? Blue Jay, are you
I don't
a
know.
punner?
Blue Jay, let us know how you feel about puns.
Next
specifically space puns
Oh,
or
God.
spuns.
Oh God.
Next week.
They're wonderful.
No.
Levi762 with $25. I believe I found some frames that belong to you. They were strewn across the galaxy.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks. We'll send our team in on a quest for some frames. Theater Nerd 221 with $20. Well, Sarah, I made it for the start of the show. I took an inadvertent nap this evening. It's time for me to take some cold medicine and get the fuck to sleep. P.S. The flu is off awful. Please get your flu shot.
flu
Get
is
your flu
awful.
shot.
I
It's
haven't
important.
gotten my flu shot.
Herd immunity is great. Feel better. Also feel better. And Mythalion with $10. Good luck on the not Shadowrun heist. And Becca
needed
Chu
those.
won with $5. Hey, you go power through. Trooper SJP with $20. I know these are technical difficulties, but I'm here for the wig. Oh, and also Lauren and the cast, of course.
I'm cast.
Not even Sarah.
No.
Just the wig. Nanosphere with $7 and no message. Claudia,
Ominous.
what would the message be?
Oh my goodness, the bathroom plan was the best plan ever. I'm sorry Lauren was a jerk and didn't make it happen. Hashtag Nanosphere.
You didn't roll very well.
I did not. Also, I appreciate you as a person. I'm making a joke.
I know.
Okay.
Deceptive Mirror with $20. Thank you, Dan, for many fun episodes with Carl's Jr. and good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Danger Mouse.
Okay,
Congrats,
with
by the way.
that, thank you for all of the donations that have come through. Please enjoy some wonderful fan art. We're going to take a quick break in which I get water because that seems important, and you should probably do that too, and then go to the bathroom and do the other things that bodies require. We'll be right back for the rest of our mission. Bye.